Greetings Rummies and welcome to Rum, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing, and to our race from the Russell Cup or Clio Cup of the ASRC today at Silverstone National. And with me, of course, our very own Ike Sky. Hi Ike, how are ya?
Good evening, sir. So, yep, I am overjoyed to be back at the home of British motorsport, so says Silverstone, and to witnessing these excellent front-wheel drive rocket ships circulating around the short national circuit. I did say last week it's going to be fast and furious, and before the qualifying session had even begun, there was a double-stack queue of Renault Clios trying to get out of the pit lane. Hungry, that's how hungry they are to be getting out on track.
Well, I sure hope so. We may want to remind the people that are watching the broadcast how this is set up. So we are on qualifying now. We have 7 minutes and 40 something seconds of qualifying. The results of this qualifying, the places 1 to 10, are going to be turned upside down. So the 10th is gonna be the first on race 1, sprint race 1, which is 5 laps. So we have one sprint race which uses the results of qualifying on a reverse grid from places 1 to 10. Then we have a second race. Which is also a sprint race using the results of the first sprint race on a reverse grid in the places 1 to 10. And then we have, let's call it normal race, 25 minutes, with the results exactly as they come out from qualifying. It's a rather complex setup, but one that delivers a lot of racing.
Yep, and of course, as we said last week, there's a lot of strategy that goes into it. I don't think that anyone here is going to be pushing any particular position on the grid, but what they will be doing is trying to go as fast as possible to get that potential for the 25 points at the end of the feature race. Last time out, the two sprint races yielded two different winners in the form of Carlos Abizanda and Yanma Fuentes in their Clios. But it was Domen Ganter that took the 25 points from the feature race and went to the head of the championship by 4 points after having what was not the easiest time in the sprint races, looking to make it 2 in a row. I'm sure. Where is Ganter at the moment, actually?
Ganter, I just had it. Well, okay. But we're still on qualifying. So Ganter, Carol, Jimenez, Poletti, and Mrak are places 1 to 5 in the driver standings. And with regards to the teams, I have the wrong image, I just noticed.
Aha.
Yeah.
I can run through it if you like.
No, wait, okay. Now I know why I have the wrong... I was in the wrong folder. So, wait a minute, I have it here. Dub-a-dip. Okay, I saved the wrong information, so I cannot give you the teams right now as an image. But you said you have it in front of you?
Yeah, I've got it up in front of me. So MC Motorsport Clieta is leading the way. That is Caro Leputre and Jimenez. Slow-racing.com for Solar, Gantar and Mrak are second at the moment with 50 points and 43 respectively. MC Motorsport with Sequeira and Abizanda are third with 22 points, the Trouble in Paradise of Paletti on his own, running in 4th at the moment with 17 points. So the first of the solo teams. So watch for Paletti to be performing again tonight. And Zenkov Racing, 5th position at the moment, with Simpson and Zenkov on 16 points at the moment. So MC Motorsport Kleta taking the early lead in the championship. Lots and lots of work to be done over the rest of the season, let alone just this evening. With 3 rounds tonight from Silverstone, that championship table could look very different.
Well, and the way that these races are set up, it can look very different from one race to the other.
Yes, absolutely. Speaking of looking very different, Mark Carroll leading the way with a vast gap to the rest of the field at the moment, almost just over a tenth of a second, 0.129 seconds at the moment. Looking down the rest of the field, that gap isn't repeated until the gap between 9th and 10th, between Brigine and Zenkov in the 12 and 5 cars respectively. So all very, very close at the moment, but Mark Carroll seems to have hooked up, at least in this qualifying format, seems to have hooked up that 52 car to just hug the corners right. A very big trade-off tonight between straight line speed and cornering ability. Lots of different corners on a very short track as well. So Silverstone National Circuit bringing a very unique challenge to the Clios today.
Yeah, and this is how Silverstone National looks like. I got that from Wikipedia, so sue them if it doesn't look the way that you want, but having maggots there, it's always yikes.
I'm just waiting for the for the image to come up. Ah, that's the one. Yep.
And Laffield is in, which is always a difficult corner.
That's it. So on the track map, we used to have Bridge, which is the corner that was just off to the bottom right hand corner. That used to be the old Grand Prix circuit. And Village, you can see in the top right hand corner, is where the new Grand Prix circuit now joins the Wellington Straight. So quite a bit of real estate being added to the, I think, 2008 regeneration of the Silverstone circuit. Tonight we will be looking for overtakes into Brooklands, we'll be looking for overtakes into Copse, and Maggots and Beckett's as well. I can see that's labelled as Aintree, but that right-hander is considered Beckett's in this format. Completely lost the word, like as I was saying it. But yeah, fantastic little course. Really challenging for the drivers. There's going to be, as we expect, lots and lots of overtaking and attempted overtaking as well.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun race for sure. I don't expect anything less. We had our fun last week also, so... Oh, yeah.
Would you like to go on board for a lap?
Carroll, for example, out. So, and coming into a pit, so that
yep,
doesn't
that's
help.
The one. We are just at the very end, at the dying moments of qualifying. I can see 3rd place, Paletti, coming up to the light. Nope. 12th is slowing down as well.
I just chose Mrak and hope that he stays a little bit outside.
Where is Mrak? I will get Mrak. There we go. So, goes wide on the first corner, so he isn't going to stay out because that's going to be his lap invalidated. You can use quite a bit of real estate on the exit of that corner.
I move to Gunter.
And Gunter is 4th at the moment. It's going to be a checkered flag. We left it just a tiny bit too late. That's not a problem, though.
Well.
We'll get lots of opportunity to go around this short track. There's only 6 corners. Lap times, as you can see, of 1 minute and 4 seconds. Even 5 laps of this race is going to not take very long whatsoever. It's going to be start-stop and a lot of tension going through these first 2 sprint races and then building into the feature race, just waiting for drivers to complete their laps. I did see a new time. Was that Fuentes moving up, I think, a position in front of Briginet? It was. So Briginet down to 10th now, with Fuentes taking that 9th position in the dying moments of the qualifying session.
And McAllister going into pits.
Ah, yes. Everybody's going to the pits now, as they should. Good evening to everyone in chat. If you want to shout out, just say Vrom Vrom is the best. Clearly no bias there. 23rd place. How?
No, it's just a statement
Higgins?
of fact.
Oh, clearly, yes. Of course. Higgins deciding to run his cooldown lap properly, as our immersion demands. We don't escape to the pits here. We take our path properly.
Okay, so Brigonet is gonna be first.
Yep.
Because, as I was saying, we have a reverse grid based on the results of qualifying for the first race. 5 laps is gonna be gone in a half, and maybe if they take a little bit longer, in a minute and a half. Badum.
Well, if they need a pit stop, it's going to put them a lap down, regardless. Regardless of what they do, it takes about 30 seconds to perform a drive-through. Any work that you'd need to do on the car in any of these races, and your chances of getting any positions back is gone.
So it's quite similar to oval racing.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. This is about as close to oval racing as you'll get in the UK. Actually, Rockingham was saved, if I remember correctly. See, now I'm asking. Yeah, we have a 4-turn Rockingham, a 4-turn oval here in the UK, which was used for quite a few things. Yep, Rockingham is still up and going, so one of the best ovals in the UK. Slightly different approach from the normal oval, but it's a fantastic high bank oval that the touring cars used to use. You imagine BTCC cars doing oval racing, and that's just as good as you think it is. Speaking of oval racing,
yeah, go ahead.
No, after you. I was gonna prompt you.
So, speaking about oval racing, we have every Sunday NASCAR racing, or stock car as the ASRC calls it. And yesterday we were in Las Vegas, and it was a very intense race. Not as intense as the Russell Cup, as the Russell Cup is its own thing with these sprint races, but it was quite intense.
Haven't actually had an opportunity to watch it myself yet. Been far too busy doing that thing called work that we all hate doing. But yes, it's oval racing is a fine art in itself, and
oh yeah,
those stock cars are what's the word? They are as simple as they look. They are trimmed out and developed to be as fast as they can possibly be around an oval. These Clios, not really.
Yeah. And I expect that the draft from the Clios is going to be less than the draft from the stock cars. You could see it yesterday in the race, how rubber banding the draft was.
Yeah, it's difficult. A lot of things go into how a Clio. If you go on board with Elliot, by the way, he should be going past the start-finish straight if I can get to him. There.
Elliot
Oh, no,
Simpson, you mean?
Yeah. Because we've covered the first corner.
He's
now
not,
we come
he's
down
not,
to...
He's now on Maggots and Beckett's.
There we go. Yeah. So this was... I was saying to Serta before the broadcast, there's about 3 lines through Beckett's, and they all come out in a different part of the circuit, but at the same speed. So this Wellington Straight section is going to be a key part for overtakes, blocking, as well as drafting, and the braking in at Brooklands here, which, believe it or not, is only turn 4, where a lot of moves are going to be made, and then the switch back through Luffield, which might well cement positions in the course of the race, and then this drive up the pit straight through Woodcote, might be having to go defensive into Copse as well. Every single corner is just an opportunity to attack and or defend if you need to, and with these little Clios tripoding around about 3 of the 6 corners that we're negotiating tonight, it's going to make for an interesting show as well.
Tripoding, that's a new word that I learned last Monday, which is what these cars do when they are on 3 wheels.
Yep. Discount motorbiking.
Eh.
I really, really, really want to go on 2 wheels, but I can't. Yep. Fascinating idea, and how the chassis actually leans into that now. Is even more peculiar when you actually do if you've ever done research on tripoding and looking into how it makes you faster. It's fascinating, it really is. But that's the end of warm-up. With that little aside,
first of 2 sprint races quite soon.
Yep, we'll wait for the drivers to finish their warm-up. I was actually just trying to get the qualifying results.
Shouldn't they be in the live timing?
They should. They should be. I can't find them. Qualifying just doesn't exist in the live timing.
Well, go. You have home, live, and results. Go to results.
Home, live, and results. Ah, yes. Ah, there we go. Oh, wait, you have to go to a completely different page. So, for the feature race at least, it will be Carroll, Mrak, Paletti, Ganta, Abzander, Kowalski, Jimenez, Simpson, I believe, and Fuentes and Briginet will be your top 10. But for this first round, it will be Briginet taking the head of the warm-up lap that we will have before we get racing. Fuentes in second, Simpson third, Jimenez fourth, Kowalski in the middle. Did I count wrong? Yeah, it was Briginet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Abzander, Ganta, Paletti, Mrak, and Carroll will be starting challenging from 10th position. But with that, if he has that amount of pace when we get to the actual race, this is going to be a fascinating show. Also worthy of note from the qualifying results, the highest speed trap figure that we had was actually from the 43 car of Nicolas Paletti. So perhaps he is running the car a little bit lower or something to get a slightly higher top speed. Sorry. That caught me off guard. 187.8 kilometers per hour to the...
You don't want to do that in a real life Clio.
On a racetrack, maybe.
No,
anywhere else?
On a real life Clio without the safety cage? No, not even on a racetrack. No, I'm too chicken for that.
Yep. Well, that's 145 miles per hour-ish, isn't it?
I'm not used to thinking in other than scientific measurements. So That's a conversation that Cody and I always have. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's such and such degrees Fahrenheit." Crickets.
Oh no, that's fair. Yeah.
That's such and such Celsius, and I'm like, "Whoa, it's hot." So,
no, it's
yeah.
100. It's 120 miles per hour. It's not that fast.
So poor Cody is always trying to well, he's accustomed, of course, to Fahrenheit and miles and whatever, and he says that, and I'm like, okay, whatever you say, mate.
And then there's the UK, that this is this very, very peculiar bridging of the two cultures.
Yeah, but now after Brexit, you are reclaiming your measurements back, right?
No, we still do everything in meters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it depends how big it is. So, if you're doing something really small, it's in millimeters. If you're doing something slightly larger than small, then it's inches. If it's around human size, it becomes meters, unless it's height, in which case it's foot and inches.
So you're making things worse.
Oh, absolutely. No, we are the worst. I recently tried to switch everything to metric on all of my cars and everything, and driving is a nightmare. Don't get me wrong. I now can roughly guess how long half a kilometer is, which is handy. But yeah, it's a culture shock for sure.
And of course, all the signs are in miles per hour, right?
Yup. So I've been doing conversion with, because I have a Japanese car now, or a Japanese domestic market car. The speedo's in kilometers anyway. But it's about at 100 kilometers per hour, it's 7 kilometers out. So I'm having to do that conversion at 70 miles per hour or 113 kilometers per hour, and then adding 7 to it. But I'm having to do that all the way up the rev range for every speed limit. It gets your attention.
As long as you don't get mixed up in an accident because of that.
No. It's in the background.
Sorry, Miss Policewoman. I was thinking in kilometers, and that got me away from what I was doing.
Well, the thing is that that kilometers is slower, quote unquote, than miles. It's a smaller unit. So 30 kilometers per hour is about 25 miles per hour. So if it's actually way lower than that. But if I autopilot to what it says on the dashboard, I'm going slower than the speed limit, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. Phone would be worse.
Oh, absolutely. No, I keep on considering: do I get the clocks changed, or do I just live with it?
By the way, while we're seeing the cars lining up. Let's not forget that there is one, let's call it warm-up lap, and it's a rolling start.
Yes, we weren't missing the start of the race, don't worry. There is...
And now they can decide if they're starting the rolling start or not. There was some little misunderstanding there.
Well, the thing is that, so the majority of sims... this session of it, or this part of the race, is that the cars are all ghosted. So you can drive through and you can do your brake warm-up the way you want to do it. In R Factor 2, credit where credit is due, it's full immersion. You are always able to be hit, even when you're sat in your pit box, which, believe me, I've had lots of fun with my teammates. In practice sessions, driving into their garage. But even when you're sat in the garage, you can still drive into people. You're always solid here. So you always have to be aware, and the way that Bridgenet is warming his tyres up and his brakes may not be the way that the drivers around him want to be doing that. You can see, I think that's Simpson running slightly out of line, trying to use get his setup warmed up slightly differently. But this will be the slowest that you'll see these cars take this corner for the next 5 minutes at least. But there's going to be plenty of overtaking tonight. Keep your wits about you. We have 2 different perspectives on the race, and we will be doing our best to cover everything that's going on up and down the field. As I say with all of my other broadcasting.
Standing start. I forgot from last week.
Yeah, it's not rolling start, yeah. As the drivers pull up into their starting spots, as a certain other commentator says, take a breath, it's the last one you'll be able to take for the next 5 minutes as we wait for the lights to come on.
And there we go. Out of the race, Briconnet stays on first.
No,
all
he does.
drivers quite.
Fuentes gets. That looks like Fuentes ran the outside. If I'm getting my cars wrong. Now, watching Elliott Simpson up to second position.
Yeah, but Briconnet is on first.
Is Briconnet in the first car? Yeah.
They are all being very careful taking the curves. By the way, expect, while you see that the sim here stutters a little bit, expect next week to be better. They've done updates on the mod, on the Clio mod, because they recognized that it was reducing the FPS strongly. And there we see the first cars tripoding.
Yep.
Briconnet, Simpson, Jimenez.
Yep. Simpson on the defensive against Jimenez. Jimenez bumping the back of the Simpson car, trying to egg him around the corner. That's too wide in the background. Green car going up the inside of a blue car. I can't see what numbers they are, though.
There's a lot going on, so...
There is a lot going on.
We have this first group, Briconnet, Simpson, Jimenez.
Whoa, 3 wide going into Beckett's there.
We have a yellow. Oh.
Has anyone dropped? Ah.
And Jimenez gets the better of Simpson.
So, Mishra and Dolnech have come together in Stowe, it looks like, and they have fallen right off the back of the field.
Oh! I think it was Briconnet who hit Jimenez. Or no, Jimenez who hit Briconnet.
Oh, no!
And he's completely turned the other way around.
I fear the stewards may have a dim view of that.
Oh yeah, because there was absolutely no reason for that.
Yeah. I would suggest. Well, I would suggest that that's going to be the whole. Yeah, that's going to be Briconnet right down the back of the field now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would suggest that Briconnet wasn't going back over to the racing line trying to play defensive, and Jimenez may have just got it ever so slightly wrong for when estimating where the front of his Clio was. Again, stewards aren't going to look dimly on it, and Briconnet has retired as well.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, bother.
So, well, he's gone side on into the wall. It's not going to be with the damage settings on the server, it's going to be a difficult ask as Elliot looks up the inside, but doesn't go any further with it at the moment.
Yeah,
but he's
trying
getting
to
very
find.
close.
He's looking inside, outside, outside, inside. He's trying to find a way to get around him.
Here we go. Big oversteer from Jimenez that time, and that just gave Simpson the opportunity to look up the inside, but Jimenez held the tight line. As I was saying, so many different ways you can get through Maggots and Beckett's there that it doesn't necessarily lose you time, but what is going to lose time is not holding off Elliot Simpson to the inside.
The next one, he's going to be on the outside, so it's no good.
But the Clios have a lot of grip, and Simpson's also going to have a later apex. He's going to be able to get the throttle down as earlier. This could be a repeat of what we saw a couple of laps ago between Jimenez and Briginet. Overlap already for Simpson as they come up towards the line. He's still on the wrong side, but he has the overspeed. 0.08 of a second as they come across the line through Stowe. It's not Stowe, it's Cops. They come still side by side.
Yeah.
Mark Carroll with the fastest lap of the race, and Simpson still side by side, and the gaggle of cars behind all arguing who's going to be third. It is Carroll, Alexander and Fuentes arguing over that for the time being. Let me just have a quick look of
Jimenez making his car as broad as he can.
Oh, big look up the inside for Fuentes. Looks to outside but can't do anything of it. Carroll is hunting as well. Those two drivers not working together. There's a hole up the inside.
Ay. Spreading some paint in there. Carroll and Fuentes.
Yep, there is space made, but only just made. There is door banging going on as they come up towards the line. The defensive goes for Jimenez once again, and that is all she wrote. 5 laps fly by just like that.
Heavens to Betsy, that was intense.
Can we have 5 more laps, please? Oh wait, we've got 5 more laps coming up.
We have 5 more laps. But there's gonna be words exchanged and maybe the one or the other penalty. Mostly penalties are given after the race, as the stewards look at the replays very precisely.
I can well imagine there's going to be a couple of penalties coming from that race. We didn't manage to catch the incident that left Dolenech and Mishra, I think it was, off to the side of the road at Cops. But that battle for the lead, that got a little bit too rough and tumble for my personal taste. May have just been the slightest of miscalculations, but
I mean, it can be.
The thing is that you don't cut across as if the car in front of you or to the side of you is going to go back to the racing line. At the end of the day, Briginet was more than welcome, or he was within his rights to be where he was on the road. There was no way Jimenez should have been trying to get back to the racing line at that point.
Yeah, on the other hand, let's see what the
absolutely, yeah.
What race control says after the race. There are these situations where you think he's gonna go to the outside, so you try to get to the inside, but he goes to the inside and it's too late for you to brake, and bam. Been there, done that in both positions. Having been the one that was hit and being the one that hit. So it can happen, but it didn't look good, and it was sad for Brigonnet, who was keeping his first position quite well.
Yeah, and again, that could well have messed with his whole evening strategy.
Absolutely.
He would have been banking on taking those 7 points and being able to defend as he did, However, that is MC Motorsport, Cleata taking another win from the Zenkov racing car and the main MC Motorsport team. So that will affect these standings. I wonder how quickly this updates. Not yet. Oh, wouldn't that be fantastic if we could give live updates of the championship standings?
Of the championship standings, no, that's gonna be difficult. The standings, you would have to calculate them yourself.
Yes, no, absolutely.
Also remember that because of penalties, these would be very provisional.
Yes, absolutely, of course. So, who will be taking the pole for our second 5-lap race? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
McAllister.
It will be Jack McAllister, yep, with Gasper Marak. Oh, that's going to be an unfair fight for the 39 car trying to keep Gasper behind.
And
Domi
behind
Gunter,
Marak is Gunter, so...
Yeah, Gunter in third. It's going to be a difficult time for McAllister, keeping that pole. Paletti will be alongside Gunter on row 2. Kowalski in the number 1 car will be in 5th with Manuel Fuentes alongside in the 18 car. Mark Carroll will start from 6th position, so only 3rd row of the grid for the driver who was fastest of all in the qualifying sessions by was a 10th of a second in the end. Possible for Mark to make big strides up the field depending on how the rest of the field treats him. Carlos Abizanda will be from 3rd position, Elliot Simpson from 9th, and Ricky Jimenez will start from 10th position as penalty for winning that first round.
This makes for very, very interesting racing and very interesting strategies.
Yeah, I wonder how Jack in the 39 car is going to handle the pressure of being at the head of the field where he is. He's sat in the pits at the moment, probably just honing his mind and reminding himself of how to lead a pack away.
If it was me, he's going to the loo.
Oh, that too. Absolutely.
I've got 5 minutes. Oh, up.
It's losing your success ballast.
Well, there's one of the drivers of the Automobilista 2 Community Cup who always goes for a beer in between races.
Oh, good plan. Oh, I like that a lot. Not advisable.
Not in real life, but if you're doing sim racing, hey.
Even in sim racing, it's touch and go because obviously everyone's still practiced. Thank you very much, Matevs.
Thanks, Matevs.
Yeah, appreciate it. We
were talking about beer and sim racing.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Beer and sim racing go really well. Speaking of, who's watched the Nürburgring 24-hour from last weekend? I was writing news and watching it at the same time, egging on the Frickadelli Ferrari.
Who won, right?
Who won? Yeah, it's
the first time in I don't know how many years that a non-German car has won or something like
21 years, yeah.
Thanks.
21 years and the first time a Ferrari has ever won. And of course, for the Frickadelli team, who up until last year have been a Porsche team. Also, the team started and founded by a certain Sabine Schmidt.
Mm-hmm.
So a really, really poignant and well-loved win, let's say. There wasn't a single team in that. I mean, there was other controversy in that race, but there wasn't a dry eye in that pit lane, I don't think, on Sunday night. Not least of which the drivers and the Fricadelli team. Absolutely brilliant race. In the end, won by, I think it was about 20 seconds, but again, over 24 hours on the world's hardest racetrack. Yeah, very, very cool. Very cool race.
Wait, all of a sudden I only have 12 drivers.
That's maybe a mass disconnect. Either that or it's because we're switching sessions. Give it a second.
Yeah, okay, the numbers are coming back. Okay.
Yeah. Just going between warm-up and the race.
Okay, all right. Oh, it's 18. We had 27. So, yeah, big disconnects, warm-up reset. There's some commenting in the Discord about the issues that they're having, so...
Oh, R Factor 2. We love you sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes.
Now we have 23 drivers on the grid.
That's much more like it. Absolutely, yep. Marty Mestermaker, if he drinks, he only races AI, and that's a responsible racer. Good man.
Still the grid only at 23.
I see 26.
Okay.
At the moment, anyway. Yeah, and the car is here as well, so we may just be waiting. Pure AI there. We're starting to lose them again. I fear this may be a server reset.
Okay. I'm just watching the Discord.
Yes, apologies for the silence.
If there is anybody from the organizers saying something, but I suppose at this moment they have less interest in saying something and much more interest in solving something.
That's the one. That's the key one at the moment, is getting this race up and running for the drivers who are in the server.
I have 25 on the grid at the moment from 27 that should be there.
Yep. So we're nearly there. Yeah, Gregor, why aren't you driving?
So let's see what happens when the warm-up counter goes to 0.
Yeah, I think that's what we're waiting for, is essentially keeping this as stable as possible.
Yeah.
Until the timer counts down, and then see which drivers survive into the race. There's that.
Also
That's
because
26.
I think the server is set up so that if you leave the server, you cannot come in. So I suppose that the race organizers are collecting people manually, so to speak. Could very well be.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, that looks like it.
Which is a bother.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There we go. Right. Just trying to retrieve the last stragglers. There we go. That's 27. I think. Yep.
With 45 seconds in the second warm-up.
That's about as close as you want to cut it, isn't it?
It's one of the moments where, as organizer, you are thinking so many 4-letter words per minute.
Yes, absolutely. And unbelievably, not all of them beginning with the letter F. Some of them will be.
Race is a 4-letter word.
Yes, also that. Yeah. We've got to get it. We've got to get it on. We do have a full complement of drivers. There we go. Checkered flag. Go Felipe. Says, have a gas? I think that's fair to say. He was very hard done by in that initial
incredibly unlucky
encounter.
Or even dirty if it was dirty.
Yeah, I daren't say it's dirty. I don't think that was intentional. I would dare say there was no. There we go. Do we have a full complement?
Yes,
we do. You mean fast? Yes, fast is the 4-letter word that I was thinking of. Absolutely. Please fix this quicker. Yes. But
why can't you reboot in seconds instead of minutes? Oh, computer. Yeah, I know the feeling.
Oh, I thought that was the point of Windows 10, was that boot speeds were down to like 3 seconds.
Never seen a Windows system booting up in...
Oh, I have once. It was on a very early NVMe SSD, and it had a top-of-the-line i7 at the time processor, and it was a fresh install of Windows.
I mean, to be fair, I never seen a Linux system booting up in 3 seconds, but I don't see Linux systems going down very often.
Nope. You would be correct in that thought. Yeah. Yeah. That's another one that we'll get into at some point. I really wish that there were more Linux distros that were more targeted at Windows users in the GUI, because we miss out on a lot here.
Yeah, Mint. I can, to anybody who's thinking about getting a Linux system that is similar to Windows, go Mint, which is an Ubuntu version.
You can't run rFactor 2 on it, can you?
Ooh,
there's a lot
I would have to look it up. There is a database specifically for sim racing that says that writes down which sims work on Linux. And the Valve have a specific gaming Linux system. I would have to look it up.
Yes, it was SteamOS.
Yeah, but they have something that is it's something similar to Wine. I don't remember how it's called.
Proton.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Now
there's a database. There's a database specifically for sim racing. I would have to find it once again, but there is a database that says what works with Proton, and even I think they even have collected information about which hardware works how.
Yeah, absolutely. What we do also need is for SteamOS to come to all PCs. The sooner we can get that sorted, the more fun we'll all have, and the more we can run away from Windows.
On the other hand, to be fair, between Windows and Mac, I prefer using Windows for most.
Oh, 100%.
Even if I know that Macs use a sub-version of Unix. Alright, we are about to start the second race.
Fuentes has very much misaligned his car. He is pointing towards the outside of the track. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Fuentes looking to get across the track as quick as possible. The lights are on.
And we go racing. Oh, solar a penalty, I suppose. Or starting
Jump
too
start,
soon.
I would suggest. Yep. Cleanly through turn 1 once again.
False start, yes. 8. Cars on track. Oh,
everybody gets.
McAllister going white. Ooh.
Oh no!
And shoehorning his way. Oh, that's not a good way to drive.
Was that a shove off the road? That was it.
I'd say yes. I mean, not intentional. Not intentional.
Yeah, I think I think that was a defense rather than anything else. That was a difficult one. Oh, that one's not though. Gantar turning in.
And all sorts of chaos in there.
I'm trying desperately to yeah, that all got very, very messy. I'm not too happy with that. But they come across the line for the first time under racing condition. Gasper Mrek leading the way. Elliot Simpson once again to second position, and how has he gotten so far up so quickly?
Because all the others were having some argy-bargy?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He's picked his way through that perfectly. Nicholas Paletti, and that's... Who is that? Fuentes?
Okay. Yeah, or Gunter or something, yeah. There was some stuff going on that didn't result in an accident, but...
That's the main thing. Nearly it was. Yeah. It wasn't even Gantai, it was...
Oh, Simpson going wide, but surviving on Luffield.
Luffield, not the worst place to run wide. It's one of those corners that you can make it work. Zenkov up behind Fuentes now, fighting over 6th and 7th, flashing his headlights. For some reason, up the inside, doesn't make it work and makes contact with the back of the car as well. This is all getting very desperate and contacty, isn't it? Meanwhile, Gasper Mrek leading the way. Spin! Is that Zenkov? I think? Yeah. Zenkov spinning out of contention for the race. We'll get going again. There's a group of 4 at the back there. Ah, oh, Brigenet's in there as well. But Zenkov gets running again. All of this is just playing into the hands of Gasper Mrek. He only needs to do this for 2 more laps round the outside. Elliot Simpson looking to... Oh no, it's Paperinopoulos.
Paperinopoulos, as Elliot Simpson went wide just before Luffield, and Paperinopoulos got the better of him. Hey, that's what happens when you go wide.
Yep. But slightest bit... Oh, wow. Side by side for Ganto and Fuentes there. Both will live to fight another day. Such is the strength of these front-wheel drive Clios.
But Elliot trying to regain his position.
Oh, wow. Is that Jimenez? No, that is... Who is jumping around? That is Sarakas. Sarakas getting it wrong. Did he jump or was he pushed? That's the question. Oh, he was pushed. Oh,
and
he was very
Paparinopoulos
much
closing the door very strongly. Elliot getting the better of him anyway. Or not. Oh, and now into Luffield. A lot of paint being traded. Going 3 wide into Luffield. Almost 4 wide.
So, who was it, do you think, that pushed the yellow car off into the infield?
Rigonet?
No.
Okay.
It was Ricky Jimenez.
Oh.
So
he may encounter a couple of conversations with race control.
I could well imagine. Oh, big slide there for, was that 6th in the yellow car of Fuentes? It is Fuentes, I think, that was looking up the inside. That's the strength of these Clios. Yep. And now pushed up onto the inside as well. Is he going to get it stopped? He's trying to give the space, but at the same time, you need to be given space as well. They're all getting a little bit vicious here.
It's the last lap.
It is. We are on to... Oh, we're at the last lap as well. My goodness, these laps go so quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Mrak is going to be winning provisionally.
Look at that.
Provisionally, as I'm pretty sure the stewards are going to be looking at that initial encounter.
Yet again, it's going to be a steward's investigation. Quite a few of them, I think, in this second race. But provisionally speaking, I think this is the biggest lead that we've seen so far across the line. 2.8 seconds in the end. So lots of let me just, that's still building, but provisional results then for that race. Gasparek will win the race, take home those 7 points. As to whether he'll keep them, we will see. Antonis Paparinopoulos will take the silver trophy. He may well get promoted to a first win in that number 1 car. Elliot Simpson will take home 3rd. Domingantar will come home 4th. Manuel Fuentes will be 5th. Nicolas Poletti will be 6th and round out the points for this sprint race. The 002 of Jimenez, a cloud hovering over him of stewards' inquiries, I would hasten to suggest. Lepotre in the 71 will finish 8th. Borla Hernandez will be 9th. 10th will be Jimenez in the Ricky Jimenez in the end. Oh no, it was Ricky that had the incidents. Orja Mishra will finish 11th. 12th will be Cuba. Stavros Sarakas 13th. We'll get through all of the names because we have the time. Jack McAllister 14th in the 39 Clio. Angel Sancho in 14th. 15th will be Silvestre. Rodolfo Broud will finish 16th. Abzander 17th. Carroll not making any headway in this race, finishing in the end in 18th.
Well, now the longer race comes with 25 minutes. We may see Carroll moving there.
Yes, and this is where the qualifying results come in. Thankfully, with the qualifying results, and this evening, they get new cars each time. I couldn't possibly imagine trying to either do the old dirt rally, repair what you can between stages, mathematics, or having to run with the damage that you have. That would not be a fun time. But to round out the finishing, Mark Carroll's 19th, 20th will be Stefanenko. Donetsk in 21st, 22nd will be Zenkov. 23rd will be Kowalski. 24th, Brigine. 25th will be Solar. 26th, Adricevic. And in 26th, 27th will be Michael Higgins, bringing up the rear. A difficult race for quite a few people that time out.
Oh well, and now let's see if the drivers can calm down enough, because the next one is not a sprint race. It's a race where you have to bid your time. Although they didn't last week. There were battles, incredibly great battles up and down the roster last week, so may very well be the same today.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. The drivers are going to be trying their very best. Those who didn't have a great qualifying session, maybe couldn't find the space. As small as these cars are, this isn't a very large track, so they will be fighting for space. And I did see a couple of drivers trying desperately to get dragged along the Wellington Straight in qualifying, and it not quite going to plan, I don't think. That's where my views are. Just taking a quick breather to try and regain some composure after what was a very, very interesting race. The track's quite empty. I'm surprised we're not seeing more cars out on a warm-up lap, or just making sure.
They may be taking a bio break, you know.
That's very true. 2 minutes remaining, though. Oh, that looks like we lost someone.
We're having issues again.
Not yet. We're down to 26 drivers. But it could be that's the problem with RFX 2. Sometimes one of the fixes that they had recently was the shaders not being rendered properly. There's always happening a lot, and there's 5 laps short. We are trying to show the other cars. Unfortunately, it's difficult to keep track of where the closest fights are.
Everywhere.
With the
problem is the closest fights are everywhere.
We should see a bit more in this feature race. Although with such a short lap, it's going to be challenging as well. But we will try. Hopefully it will spread out into a slightly more sane kind of race tonight in this feature race. As I say, there's lots of straights for drivers to get it wrong and to try and make passes, so it is going to be non-stop up and down the grid tonight, I think it's fair to say.
Alright, warm-up has ended.
Just looking to see if anybody has put in an early protest
You mean the Discord?
in the Discord yet. I don't see anything as yet.
Yes, there's 2 protests.
Is that from... Ah, right, okay. Ganter has reported himself, like the gentleman that he is.
Well done.
I'm your fan, Gregor, because you picked the BMW and ACC. We don't talk about BMWs from ACC. They're not very pretty.
They seem to be effective.
Unless we're talking about the M6, in which case, yes, much approved. Pretty car. Very pretty car. I'm just hoping they fix the mid-rear cars soon. I am sick and tired of burning my tyres. Okay, so this final feature for the night then. Just getting everything in a row. No, Matevs. You can stick around. You're fine. We don't take it too seriously.
Oh gosh, the minute we take ourselves seriously, please ignore us.
Oh yeah, no. If we do ever take ourselves seriously, please, tell us, because oh man.
I'm always suspicious about people who take themselves too seriously. Situations, yes. Other people, of course. Yourself, never.
No, absolutely. I've always said it takes sensible people to make fun things happen.
Yeah.
But there always is a limit to where that comes and where it crosses over into just being a buzzkill. And no one wants to be a buzzkill. On the upside, at least with the M4, you can make the bottom half of the bumper black, as a lot of the cars have done in the British GT Cup this year. And it basically makes the bottom half of the grille invisible. Which is really interesting that all of the liveries in the British GT this year just kind of try to mask the bottom half of the grille. It's funny. Been trying to do that since the very start. It doesn't work. As we wait for the server to restart, and hopefully we have a full... Hopefully we have a full...
What's it counting down now?
It will be counting down to
the start of the race or something?
No. It'll be setup time, basically. So where will be a good place to watch this from? I think about there. As lovely as the camera angles are here at Silverstone, they aren't always the best for capturing what's happening in the action.
Yeah, and it's very difficult to get camera angles within the possibilities of the broadcast system of R-Factor 2.
Yeah. Kudos for putting it in there. Like,
well,
really thankful that you've put it in there.
What? You talking to me or what?
No, just everybody. We're really thankful that it's in there. But it still needs work. 13 seconds now for the cars to be on the grid. If you keep clicking the trackside button, you get a high angle shot. As the drivers all pull away, the second place car.
All, but yeah.
Oh, not on all of them. Yeah, no, exactly. There's some. There's quite a few options. We just need to find the one that works best. A lot more spread out this time. Maybe they're starting to learn.
Well, remember that this is just the warm-up lap.
Oh, yeah. But from the sprint races, remember we saw they were all very bunched up together and not giving each other space to try and allow people to warm up in their own way.
At last.
Yes, it only took 2 races and a qualifying session and 2 warm-up sessions, 3 warm-up sessions for the drivers to go. Actually, speaking of balance of performance, the balance of performance in the GT3 Cup is apparently, in the GT3 cars in R-Factor 2 are apparently really good, to the point that the old McLaren 650S is now, like, possible to drive with, which I'm very excited for, because that's by far the best car.
You're in love with that McLaren.
I am. I make no bones about it.
You're searching curtains together or something?
No. No, it's a short wheelbase supercar. What is there not to like? But here we go.
Start to the last race of the day.
For the big one.
5 minutes. And there we go.
And there's already contact at the back as someone has stalled from the line. That's the issue with these standing start races, but up the front it's as clean as a whistle. The first 10 cars getting a big jump from the rest of the field. That could play into the rest of the race. Further back, how's it looking? We're going too wide between McAllister. I mean, the whole second half of the pack is too wide at this point. Everyone's clean, as far as I can see. Let me just...
And kind of like everyone kept their positions, right?
For the most part, yes. I think we might actually get to... Oh, it was too soon.
Of course.
Oh, we commentator cursed it. That was Luffield's, who's in position 26. That's Sakaras. Sakaras has already retired from the race. That was, in fairness, he was turned the wrong way into Brooklands. It was always going to be a difficult recovery from that.
Simpson and Brigonet get together, and Brigonet is pushed out of the race.
Oh, he's had such an evening to forget.
Yeah, he's gonna have some words, I think.
What actually happened there? Let me...
Brigonet was just overtaking Simpson, and either Brigonet went too wide or Simpson didn't take the line right and hit Brigonet.
Yeah. That's the worst. Let's see if we can conclude that one.
What is worth, Carroll is getting some space, half a second between him and second position, Mrak, which for these kind of races is a lot.
Oh man, yep. We might all see if that's after 2 laps.
Oh, he goes white on maggots, but keeps the position. Not
you don't keep
that
long
much time.
Yeah. That's part of the issue with with these cars is that running on your own, you're not actually all that quick.
Ooh. Rack and Poletti trying to decide where to put their respective cars, and both wanting to put them in the same place. Not a good idea.
Not a good idea at all. Where do we go? Where is... What's going on further down
Jimenez and Gunter
field?
are...
Yep. Jimenez,
fighting for
Hernandez and
position.
Kuba. Yep. Up ahead, fighting over just the outside
and
the top
Jimenez
10.
gets the place. Because Gunter is now on the inside. No.
No, it's Kuba that's in as far, well, no, unless the dashboard's not updated. Give it a second as they come across the splits. Oh, it's the 13 car coming back through for Hernandez. And it's the 12 car of Jose Jimenez, who is now side by side with the 13 of Hernandez. Hernandez trying to go up the inside. The draft of these Clios having an effect. It's a big lockup for both of them, but they will come out of it cleanly, thank goodness. Bit of a bump on the rear for the 71. The Potre giving Kuba the hurry up onto the start-finish straight. Come on, come on, come on. I have no power. As 71's not even interested in passing, unlike Jose Jimenez, who looks to the inside into Cops, but can't make it happen. Still, he's got the overlap. I think he's got the overlap. He's going to go for this into Beckett's here on the brakes. Can he get it stopped? Oh, that was inevitable.
Oh,
big. So there was no contact there for the 8 car.
Ah, okay. It looked like a contact.
He was trying super hard to evade the potential accident there. But Jose Jimenez is free now of that little grouping. Can he get to the back of Stefanko? All of these positions for points, remember. So there is quite a lot on the line.
Art Carroll's, lest we forget, is already over half a second, almost a full second away from Gazprom Rock.
And not to, the gap between Mrak and Poletti is opening out as well. Oh my goodness, 74 car of Ricky Jimenez on the defensive against Ganta, keeping it very tidy for the time being. Elliot Simpson up behind Papernopoulos as well. Oh, yeah, Elliot Simpson going to the inside. Papernopoulos isn't even defending, which I am surprised about. Big on the brakes, and that's a spin in front. Who's that? That is Gantar. Gantar's out. Herman Gantar still parked on the outside. He's got the throttle down. Clutch seems to be engaged. There we go. And he'll start moving once again. That was really interesting. But now there are two distinct groups forming. There's two distinct groups forming. The first group from 2nd to 6th, and 9th to 18th. The rest. The 91 of Abizanda and Ricky Jimenez going at it over 4th and 5th at the moment, side by side down the Wellington Straight.
And fro and two and exchanging positions.
Ricky Jimenez has the fastest lap, but it is the 91 car who has the inside line, was getting a push from the 1 as well from Kowalski. But with the racing line, the 74 is able to hold that 4th position. Fuentes now with McAllister pushing both of them back into the pack again. Oh my goodness, so it's now 9th to 19th, all within tenths of a second of each other. My goodness. What a race.
And we're keeping with this group of 3 because there is the most action happening.
Oh my goodness, they're all so close.
Which is exactly the great thing about things like the Clio Cup.
Yes, low power racing is a staple of the racing ladder for a reason. These are the cars that are going to teach you how to drive properly. And teach you how to, the kind of discipline that you need when you get to those higher horsepower, higher aero GT and prototype cars. It looks like Paranopoulos has fallen away from the group now in his own little space. It's unfortunate, but handy. He can now run his own laps and maybe build some momentum towards the head of the field once again.
Rizanda trying to find the better position to get in front of Jimenez.
When Fuentes punting the back of, I think it was McAllister, and then taking himself out in the process.
Oh, fantastic.
Falling all the way down to 17th position. Side by side up ahead, though, for Hernandez again. Going defensive. Battle for 4th position rages on. Still 4 cars involved in this battle. A little bit of a gap between Abizanda and Kowalski.
Not much gap between Abizanda and Jimenez, as we can.
Not at all. And not much gap. This could be tandem attempts into Beckett's. No, they both think better of it. But clever driving by Simpson here, waiting for Kowalski to make his way up to the battling pair ahead. Not really going for the moves. There he tucks back in behind.
And
this is
looking
a big
at the
look.
inside. Oh, locking up.
Yep, that's
And
always
there's
going to be
some
contact.
Paint, yeah. And Abizanda pushes his way in after that lockup.
By contrast, Simpson being the absolute epitome of gentlemanly and giving Kowalski all the space that he needs to be able to circulate in peace, just parking it on the outside off the racing line. There we go. Not really interfering with his driving in his race too much. Because obviously he's wanting to push for that 4th position. The position that Simpson wants, ideally, isn't the 6th position of Kowalski. He wants the 4th position that Abisanda's currently occupying. And if he can push Kowalski to them, then he'll do that. But if he's got a lot of overspeed this time, this could be a clean pass. He's looking for it. That's almost given.
Yes.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Rest of the field, that's how you do an overtake. That's how you perform an overtake. Clean as you like. And that setup was coming for about 3 laps where he was...
Oh, Zenkov DNF'd.
Oh, yeah. When does that happen? 2 laps ago. One moment. Let me see his last circulating. Oh, is this going to be a disconnect? Oh, it was. Ah, no, it was a. He got tagged. How did he get tagged? It was on the exit of Beckett's. Oh, he was... Oh, no. He was fighting with the number 12 car. of Philippe Brigenet. It's all the same names coming out today, isn't it? Comes back towards the centre, and Brigenet just turns him round. It's less clear cut that one. We obviously haven't seen the rest of the battle that has gone on, but that's the outcome in the very least. As where's Mr. Simpson? How's his progress? It has stalled up behind the two ahead of him.
Inching his way to the fight, Abizanda and Jimenez.
That's one way to do it.
And Jimenez now getting... I think he's gonna get... Yes. Jimenez very well done with pure power, getting in front of Abizanda.
And misses the apex, and Abizanda's going to go back up the inside and has the exit speed for the Wellington Straight.
And Simpson trying to get
back in front. Well, that's the thing, that all of this fighting and flapping about that they've been doing has brought Simpson into this fight. He's going to go straight to the outside. He's got the momentum. He's got the tyres where he wants to. He's been running in clear air. Little bump on the back of Abizanda there. Trying to, well, not even defend, just keep the car on the track at that point. He's going to look to the inside. We've seen this move a few times now.
So he's got the inside. No, okay.
Yeah, no. Side by side, bond drawing. This is proper Clio racing.
He got the position.
And once again, space left by Simpson. He didn't run all the way out to the curb on the outside. He could have run all the way out. He was in front. It's going to be a big outbraking maneuver. And Abizanda, in the end, outbrakes himself again and gives up a position to the 27 car.
Simpson working his way up. Clearly.
10 minutes remaining. And then... Stefanko, number 12 car, 12th position car, on the defensive against the 25 car of Adrasavich. Getting, I think that was 2 wheels off the ground, coming into Brooklands. Bipodding, yeah, that's a whole new level of yaw to the Clio. Got on the defensive, got the defense done for the time being. But that 25 car is looking quick. Looks to the outside. Andrijasevic. Nope, Sevic.
Almost, exactly.
Andrijasevic. There we go. You'll have to forgive my Luddite English tongue. It doesn't know how to do words. But again, you can see how much your Stefanko is putting on that Clio. He is using all of the grip of the tyres, and it's slowing him down on the exit of the corners. But he doesn't really need to do too much because the 25 car can only get so far to the outside. A bit of a wiggle under braking. But then there's Stefanko... Sorry, Adrasevich then can't get back to the apex because there's a yellow and black 2 car in the way.
Is how you defend, but on the other hand, Angel Sancho is now come near and is getting... Oh, he pushes Andrijasevic out of the track. What was that? That was completely uncalled for and unneeded, and Andrijasevic going inside hits another car. Oh, bother. That's gonna be, again, some food for the race control.
Yeah.
That was completely unneeded, uncalled for Sancho. He didn't do it on purpose, I think. He was just too eager to get the position. But something that the ASRC like to see. And Simpson getting in front of Jimenez.
Oh, wow. Elliot Simpson. Oh, was that a pass on the grass?
No, he passed before and then he
oh my goodness.
slid a little bit.
It's a beautiful run. No. Oh, no. He didn't slide a bit. He was tapped on the rear corner
Okay.
by Jimenez.
It can happen.
I do apologize. I was looking at the replay for that fight.
Sure.
Oh, Jimenez has the straight line speed. He's got the draft up the straights. He's going to look to the inside again. This isn't over.
But somehow I have the feeling Simpson is too clever a driver.
The driving we've seen from Elliott Simpson tonight, especially in this feature race, has been exemplary.
Oh yeah,
and genuine model driving, as far as the kind of driving standards that I personally like to see anyway. The space that he's giving, when you bear in mind what the performance of these cars are, there's really no excuse for running people off the road and things like that, because it's you've got next to no horsepower anyway. What difference is it really gonna make at the end of the day? He's still the head of a 5-6 car train battling for position, though. These Clio Cup cars look fantastic when they're going at it.
By the way, it's a mod by the ASRC.
Yep. Working with real-life Clio Cup drivers
and engineers
to make sure that not only does the car perform as you'd expect it to be, you can tune it as you'd expect it to be tuned.
We're watching Abizanda and Kowalski trying to find out
still going
who's
at
the faster.
Yep. Well, this is the thing, is that Elliott Simpson's now... Bear in mind, Elliott Simpson has passed all of these drivers.
Yep.
Wow, that's a massive overspeed for the one car.
Also seeing is here McAllister, Lepoutre and Jimenez all tucked together, trying to get to the 8th position.
Yep, all desperately trying around the outside. It's a ballsy attempt, and it looks like it might work as well. 71 car side by side with the 39 on opposite sides of the road. Lepoutre has the inside. Can McAllister defend from the outside, though? He's going to be later on the brakes, has to leave space. There we go. That's the kind of driving we're hoping to see. Just a little bit as Jose Jimenez gets a little bit put off by the 39 car going wide. We need to have words with what your settings are, Serta, because your game looks so much prettier than mine.
Oh, it's maxed out incredibly.
I see.
I have a 3080 Ti, so...
Yep, that will do that. That will absolutely
and
do
water cooling. So I go for broke.
Big lockup. Yep. It looks very pretty. I am jealous.
Knowing that I'm broadcasting, of course I'm trying to get the nicest images, because that's what we owe all the people that are watching the stream.
Oh, 100%.
And trying to find a way around McAllister.
Yep, he saw Jimenez trying to do the same as...
And there we go.
Yep. Like for like, McAllister realized he couldn't defend from the outside, so he tried to defend from the inside, and even that wasn't enough to keep Jimenez at bay. Now the 39 car has a straight line speed advantage, though. Oh, this could be interesting coming in towards Cops. Blocks off the inside wisely. 39 car goes back to the outside for McAllister. And runs off the track in the end. That's going to be the end of that attempt for just a minute. As up ahead, Kowalski and Abizanda still going at it. Kowalski finally in front. But Abizanda has the straight line advantage in the draft. And looks to the outside, locks up the brakes. And now, there is only just a Clio space on the inside there, Carlos.
That looked like a lockup that would have taken out Kowalski and Abizanda at the same time.
Yes,
Luckily, it didn't.
Some very good brake control to keep that all hooked up in the end. And once again, front-wheel drive cars, they're just really good at teaching you how to drive. Big old cut on the grass there for Kowalski. It's going to give Abzander the opportunity to come back to the inside, perhaps. Not at the moment.
Riding the sausage, ouch.
But that's been so it looks as though Abzander's finally got to grips with that braking for Beckett's. Now that he's there, he's got the opportunity to push towards the outside again, maybe pushing for a mistake from the one car, which works. Oh my goodness, playing the psychological game. 91.
Nice.
That was fantastic. For the big outbraking maneuver. I wonder if Abzander can keep it, though. These two have been tied together by a very short string for the entirety of this race. Jimenez under pressure from Jack McAllister again. But as soon as you're up underneath the back of another car, you lose all of your apex and your braking points. That's the challenge here. McAllister thinking better of it for the time being. But on the exit. Oh, here we go. Two-car tries to defend, but there is an overlap there. It's going to be very difficult to move the 39 car now. Two-car goes back to the... Oh, wow. It goes back to the racing line. Yep, and that is... Yeah, is Mark Carroll to the checkered flag, leading, taking the win by just over a second. Excellent, excellent display. Gasparak second, Paletti third. But in reality, it was the fight over fourth that was the star of the show in this feature race.
Simpson working his way up to fourth.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible drive from Elliot Simpson tonight. I've got to say, definitely my driver of the day.
Absolutely.
Just for that. Absolutely. And it's not about being cutthroat. It's not about running your competitors off the road. It's not about being the fastest. It's about driving like you've got other people on the track. Funnily enough, it was Ricky Jimenez who took the fastest lap behind Elliot Simpson, but it was the mistakes that Jimenez kept making that meant that he ended up down in fifth in the end.
If you enjoyed this race, remember next week, 29th of May, we are meeting at one of my all-time favorite tracks, the Norrisring, which is a weekend track for 1 weekend a year that is set up in Nuremberg, I think it's called in English, and it's a very fast and quite difficult track. And if you want to see some oval racing, don't worry, we got something for you. We are next week in Atlanta driving 200 miles round and round with the stock cars. Here on RomRom, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing. And what a joy these 3 races have been.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a busy week for the stewards for sure, but an excellent display of just how fun these Pocket Rocket Clios can be, and how you don't need horsepower to have good racing. It's been a wonderful evening. It's a brilliant format from ASRC as well, and I can't wait. I can't wait to be coming back next week as well to witness more of this.
So, you want to say goodbye or shall I?
After you.
Right, then to everyone on the stream, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other at the podium. Bye.
Bye.